he saw that. And my father had this soft spot, maybe from the Navy, of, you know, I want my customers to like me and I want my employees, I want to have a good time working with them. And in fact, a lot of our kind of culture is based on his experience in the Navy. Teamwork, honor, mission, fun, those kinds of things. And it's a great way to make my customers really happy. And that is a motto, and that's a picture we have throughout the company. My father, as I say, is 89. He will probably call me first thing tomorrow morning and say, how did it go? And I will send this presentation to him. But he really was our cultural founder. And listening to customers, he listened sharply to his employees and sharply to his customers. And frankly, that's what took us from that carriage trade, lease one car at a time, to the rental business, because he knew what was going on with the neighborhood. He knew a page out of Peter Drucker's book, You Manage What You Measure. So we immediately embarked on a program to do that. Asked too many questions, as most business people maybe here in the audience. When you start touching the customer, everybody wants to weigh in the business, well, while you're talking to them. And long story short, we eventually evolved it to a statistically valid sample of every one of our 7,600-ish branches every month by phone. And we asked 3 questions. We said the first question is on a scale of 1 to 5, completely dissatisfied to completely satisfied. How would you rate your rental that just finished maybe that day or 2 days later? Next time you want to rent a car, would you choose Enterprise, or would you choose Alamo, or choose National? And the third thing is there anything you'd like to say to the company? And if it mentions a particular employee, for instance, or a particular problem that we need to recover from, that is on the printer queue of the branch in the next morning. And so we came up eventually with the ESQI, Enterprise Service Quality Index, where we formalized it. Everyone had it, everybody down to the branches, areas, regions, and so on. The top box, if people gave us a score of completely satisfied, they are many times more likely, at least 3 times more likely, to return to us than if they were just satisfied. And that really told us something, that we had to go for the top box if we were going to go somewhere on this customer satisfaction issue. And we had to figure out something to engage our employees in this common mission of completely satisfying customers. So our culture, it just took some years, but all of a sudden, I'd be at a big rental meeting, and as opposed to people saying, well, you know how much per car I made? Now they say, hey, my ESQI is 80 to 8, and I knew we had won. We started breaking our business down into little pieces, like every interaction with the customer. We call those moments of truth. But if the customer knows that our employee is really trying, is really being helpful and making their best effort, quite often, if not most times, we'll get a top box check mark, because they know that we are really trying to please them and make them totally satisfied. Now, as we went through this whole process of ESQI, a couple of things came to mind, and how we really measure our business and what's important, and how we want to make sure that we have things in the right priority. So we developed what's called the balance. And I think if you walk in any one of our branches and talk to the manager and say, what's your balance? By the way, what's your ESQI or ASQI and NSQI? They'll know. Jack didn't start the business just for money. We don't run the business just for money. We run the business to have a great, interesting, turns out bigger than we thought, and with the family, it's a great, big, private, multi-generational family business, and our intention is to keep it that way. Saying no often. We'll come to them with new offers and things, and they get totally distracted, and the business does not succeed. I would say that the best deals I ever made were the ones that I didn't make. It's about the sizzle. It's about the extra stuff. And for instance, you know, anybody can get some bricks and mortar, they can get some cars, they can get some technology. It's all about the people. 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 And this could not happen in most of the rest of the world. It could only happen in the United States. And it's my personal opinion that if our country ever loses the ability for someone like Jack Taylor to start with some money and an idea and can't succeed either through overregulation, or the financial markets aren't right, or just frankly a lot like some of the European countries, then we're all in trouble here in this room.